Hello from the other side. Must have sung 1,000 lines. Yeah. Welcome to This Week I'm Learning, the podcast where the host tried diligently not to sing, but usually we end up failing. And the topics are all tonal, but lightly researched. This is Season 2, Episode 11, 41 overall, recorded April 5th, 2021. I'm your host, Brandon Vader, also known as Dracanis.
This will be the last podcast he will be hosting.
So tonal, does this mean we have to speak tonal languages now?
No. It's just...
Ku pasa tie-dye mai? Cup?
No cup. This cup.
Of course, ironically, I probably got most of the tones wrong in that. So,
yeah, it didn't sound right.
Yeah.
It's terrible, Cody. Absolutely terrible from us who don't speak that language.
Sorry. I apologize.
So, down below, Cody Stratman, also known as Psychonitrous.
Otherwise known as the Thai offender.
Yeah. For all the Thai listeners, Katot.
And we're sorry, Thai listeners.
Charlie Stifler, also known as Mjolnir. Down CaddieWampus is Colton Roper, also known as Seeker 4761.
Hi, hello.
There's only been two other people in my life that I've heard use that word, and
hi?
No. The other one, the one that he did.
CaddieWampus?
Yes. No.
Who are the other two people?
Jason Swenson.
Okay.
And somebody else in that realm, but not you. No.
Apparently he believes in censorship, and you've been censored.
When it comes to that,
that's his word.
Yeah. Apparently your rights stop where Cody's begin.
CaddieWampus. It's a good word. It's a great word.
Yeah, I'm gonna sprinkle that one in tonight.
You're welcome to, Mjolnir.
Thank you.
All right.
I think I will.
Well, this episode, Cody is going to be teaching us about battery usage in an industry with half the carbon emissions as the fashion industry.
Just rolls right off the tongue.
I know. Super simple.
Very snappy tagline. Very, very snappy.
Yeah. And that would be my turn to talk.
I'm sorry. Are you feeling CaddieWampus, Cody?
No, I'm.
This whole podcast has gone CaddieWampus.
Like below. No, none of that.
All right. And cue.
Anytime anybody says that word, I think of like a little creature, like kind of like a catfish, but has like small stout legs, and it like sits in the corner, and just kind of meow bark, and then like meow bark giggles. That's what it does. And
then it carries your golf clubs because Caddie's in the name.
No, it does. It most certainly.
It's a CaddieWampus.
No,
that's a wampus. That's a caddy.
Yeah,
no. The caddy is its profession. It's a CaddieWampus.
Maybe in your head, not in my head.
Okay, get on with it.
All right, and Colton here, this guy over here, is going to say that maybe we don't have to be against things that matter.
Very inclusive podcast.
I feel like an antimatter joke in there somewhere, but
yeah.
Okay. Well,
maybe you're right.
Based on the background he chose today,
yeah,
I think that is right. So we'll see.
You will just have to wait and see. But Charlie is going to tell us about a city that is the size of Denver, Colorado, in the United States, but is 168.71 million miles away. Million miles away.
Oh wait, no,
I did it wrong again. Damn it!
It's billion. And Brandon will tell us that there is still no Among Us or Skyrim on this platform, but more offerings should be coming soon. And at that point, I don't care, because if it doesn't have Skyrim and or Among Us, sorry, not interested.
I'm curious though. I mean, that's the platform that obviously a CaddieWampus would use.
I mean, obviously.
It is.
So, Cody, tell
Battery
us,
usage.
what industry has half the carbon footprint of
Is it
the fashion
mayhaps
industry?
the travel industry?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's me. So this
Yeah.
isn't really a guess at all.
Sorry, I'm on the edge of my seat. Is there a back to my chair? I wouldn't know because I'm on the edge of my seat.
Hey, you used that joke last week. Find another one.
I'm going to continue using it.
Was it? Anyway,
It was
That
last
was
week.
last week.
so much has happened.
Careful, or I'll tell the MIT joke in its entirety again.
He's not allowed to host. You're not allowed to fix things. We're okay. Colton, it's gonna be a fun podcast. It's just you and I.
Just you and I.
Anyway, so it's
Just the two of us.
God.
With the singing!
Yeah, exactly.
Stop
There
it!
we go again. In case anybody didn't know, it's the airline industry, and that
Shocking.
that even includes cargo too. Has half
Really?
the cargo half the cargo emissions.
Carbon.
Yes, that other thing. As
Words.
the fashion industry. The fashion industry has 4%. The airline industry has 2%. So, just fun reference.
Numbers are fun.
Anyway, so this came up as I was looking for articles today because, why not wait until the last day before the podcast to find our article, much like is tradition here at TWIL. And I was reading about Alaska Airlines' new CEO, Ben, let's see if I can remember how to pronounce this correctly, Minakuchi? Yes, Ben Minakuchi. And he
Nailed
was
it.
talking...
That's unfortunate.
He was talking... God damn it.
Mini coochie.
He was talking about... Sorry, Ben, if you watch our podcast.
Friend of the pod, Ben Manacucci. Suchi.
Please don't take away
God
my
bless you.
status. Anyway, he was saying that in the next 10 years, he expects eVTOL aircraft to start flourishing. And I was like, whoa, what does he mean by this? I was like, what? So many questions now. What's an eVTOL? What's going to happen with them? What's going on? So what this is electric VTOL. So electric, we all know what electric is. VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing.
Takeoff and landing.
So what that means is rather than going like this, it goes like this, and then
Think
goes
helicopter.
wherever. Yeah,
Or Harrier.
In a plane
helicopter, Harrier, drone, and really what he meant. Go ahead.
To clarify, it is a vehicle that takes off and lands like a helicopter, but flies through the air like a plane.
Thank you. And really, what he meant is that, at least what I took out of this article was that he's talking about small, kind of like 4-person air taxis. And I've seen rumblings in the industry talking about this too. So rather than going to the airport via car or, in some places there's rail. And I think rail is still a good option where that's located. There's several major cities that I've been to where they've got excellent rail connections. But this would be a really awesome way to get from the airport to a city center, because a lot of places you can't do that easily. So you would have like little landing pads throughout the city center for these like air taxis to take off and land, and then go to the airport or potentially go to other locations there. This is really intriguing. The problem with the electric planes, so they've actually last year, I want to say this year because it still feels like it's 2020, but
Yeah.
last year in 2020 in June they actually had the largest electric aircraft fly that has ever flown, which was a 8-person basically Cessna sized aircraft. And the problem that they've been running into with these electric aircraft is kind of similar to electric cars. And it's only compounded with electric aircraft, which is distance.
Yep.
And the problem is batteries tend to be heavy.
Right. And unlike fuel, as you expend fuel, your aircraft becomes lighter, therefore extending the tail end of your voyage.
Exactly. So it makes it also interesting because the weight of your aircraft, in a way, it simplifies things because your aircraft doesn't change weight while it's in the air. So you don't have to have different landing calculations. And then...
Yeah, you wouldn't have to dump fuel in order to make landing weight.
Yep. No drenching kids in fuel like
Controlling
Delta did a few
It's
years
just
ago.
it's just kerosene. What's the problem?
Your kids are better with kerosene. But anyway, that's why
Cancerific.
that's why Delta, I think it was Delta, I want to say, did that a few years ago, is basically because they had to land again, and you can't land with a full tank of fuel aboard. But for, this type of aircraft would also be great for small routes that are close by that are infrequent. So there's actually an airline in Scandinavia. I want to say it's in Norway, and I forget the airline's name, but I was actually just listening about it about a week ago. And they were talking to one of the leaders of that airline, and they were saying that they're interested in the future because they can fly one of these aircraft to a destination, recharge it at that destination, then fly it back. And that would suit their routes perfectly because there's a lot of fjords in the area. I really think it was Norway because of that, as Norway is known for their fjords.
Fjords.
Fjord.
So it's just...
Do they have CaddieWampus fjords or just regular fjords?
No, those are
I think they're
southern
I think they're just
creatures.
Wampus fjords over there in
Yep.
Europe.
Okay, Wampus,
Yes.
not CaddieWampus.
Correct,
exactly.
correct. Yes. But
Cool.
that's really all I learned this week. As today, yep, that's everything. No more.
That's all of it. Got it.
Okay.
So please, Colton, teach me things.
Okay. So, surprise, surprise, we're going to talk antimatter.
Yeah. Called it.
You guys are so smart.
The only correct
SMART.
ratio, the only correct ratio is a 1-to-1 antimatter stream. It's a trick question.
It's true. I would also before I begin, I would like to wish my Star Trek friends a happy First Contact Day.
Indeed.
So,
Yes. Live long and prosper, bitch. You know how it is.
is this actually the day, April 5th, 2021, that...
No,
No,
it's
2060.
like 40. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
49
Okay.
years in the future.
Okay, so it's
39
April
years in the
5th,
future.
though.
Yeah.
So technically,
We still have plenty of time for World War III. It's all good.
and what's really interesting is Zephyrin Cochrane has not been born yet. So there's still time for someone to name their child Zephyrin Cochrane for them to be the right age in 2060.
This is going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes.
I personally still
Right
think
up there
we're
with
on
Tiberius Kirk.
I still think we're on a modified Terminator timeline, but that's just me. So, before we get into antimatter, something that I learned this week that somehow I didn't know about. Did you guys know? Well, first off, you know that lasers can be used to make things hot. That makes perfect sense. There's always weapons in sci-fi movies. You touch a laser, they're hot. Blah blah blah.
On
But
the
did you
USS
know-
Zumwalt. Yeah.
Exactly. But did you know that they can actually make things cold as well?
What?
I know, right?
Yeah. No, I did not know that.
Yeah, honestly,
'Cause-
I had no idea. We're talking physics here, man. We're talking quantum.
So are they
physics,
removing
particle
energy
physics specifically?
from something? It's like an inverted
That makes
laser?
me uncomfortable.
Well, I'll get into how they do it.
Are you being
But what I
hit by
did
a
know-
cold laser?
Is that regarding antimatter? If you take regular old matter and combine it with antimatter, you get a happy little explosion, resulting in the complete annihilation of both of the matter and the antimatter. 100% efficient explosion, blah blah blah, and so forth. Essentially, this means that you can't actually have antimatter in any major quantity in our universe in its current state due to this particular principle. Antimatter and matter cannot actually touch, or boom goes the dynamite, so on and so forth. Within the last 30 years or so, scientists could only create a few particles of antimatter, but the problem is they couldn't actually control it in any meaningful way. They couldn't actually manipulate it, and they actually couldn't keep it around for any major length of time. I think the record around 2011 was like 1,000 seconds. They could actually keep it manifested in its antimatter form, which is not nothing, but what are you going to do with 1,000 seconds? But however, physicists at the European Organization for Nuclear Research, also known as CERN, recently announced that they have been able to manipulate much larger quantities of antimatter using the properties of a very special cooling laser. So that's pretty cool. I know.
It's pretty cool.
It's completely backwards. You're dealing with
hurting my
antimatter.
head.
It's all backwards.
You're hurting my head.
They fine-tuned a beam of light to the exact frequency needed to actually cool antimatter particles to near absolute zero.
So I can't use this laser as an air conditioner.
As far as I know, unless it was finely tuned to your particles, theoretically it could be cooled.
Do you want Mr. Freeze? Because this is how you create Mr. Freeze.
Oh yes, Arnold's already in red.
you.
Oh God, I love that movie so bad. So, when they actually cooled these particles to absolute zero, well, near absolute zero, they actually slowed them down to speeds around 31 miles per hour, because particles at that level are just zipping around at ungodly speeds. So they're actually able to slow these particles to, well, manageable speeds, basically. Which actually kind of makes sense when you're dealing with antimatter, because light, it actually has no mass, and the proton has no mass, but it still has momentum. So it kind of makes sense that you could actually slow it down. And that's kind of how it works as a cooling. It actually slows down the speed of the particles to a lower energy state, which in turn cools it. So that's how light can actually be used as a cooling thing. So again, it makes perfect sense logically, but still completely backwards. So again, this actually was only announced like on March 31st. So within 5 days of recording, this is like brand new, hot off the presses physics here, baby.
You mean cold off the presses?
Well, yeah, freezing cold off the presses. So this new discovery is considered a major breakthrough in the world of particle physics. By being able to actually manipulate the antimatter with unprecedented precision, we can actually study the antimatter and actually find out if it has the same properties as regular matter, except with an opposite charge. Because that's one of the theories is, while antimatter cannot really exist in our universe, it still theoretically has the exact same properties. But there's also kind of a fringe science going on here where there's a theory that antimatter doesn't have the exact same properties of regular matter besides the charge. This basically means like new physics, new wild physical things and cool stuff like that. So super exciting if you're talking particle physics, because some of the interviews I read with these particle physicists are like, they're like giddy with excitement with this announcement. So it's pretty cool. Another potential big breakthrough because of this ability to actually control antimatter is the ability to potentially have 100% efficient energy production. Since you combine antimatter and matter, you combine it, 100% efficient, boom, that's pure energy. The main problem that we had before is we couldn't touch it, because boom, baby.
Now we just send Usain Bolt after it if we slow it down enough.
Exactly. Well, I think the Usain Bolt's top speed is like 33 miles an hour, so he might already be there.
Nice.
Noted physicist and Olympic speedrunner. So, it's kind of what I learned this week. It's developing as they say, but still cool, still future tech. It's been a wild year so far for like quantum stuff, computing, and well, particle physics now. So even though it's still 2020, science is still pushing forward with some of this interesting stuff.
That's neat, especially when you consider that physics doesn't really, our understanding of it doesn't change a lot. So this is really groundbreaking.
Oh yeah, and again, new physics. Like it could throw a wrench in the entirety of human scientific theory. So super cool, and it just happened 5 days ago. So we're living in a strange timeline, but a cool one at the same time.
And
sometimes.
get your laser air conditioner soon.
Totes.
Question
maybe
for the group.
that's-
And this sounds really dumb considering I've reported on dark matter before, but dark matter and antimatter aren't the same thing, right?
No.
Correct.
Okay, good.
No,
'Cause I was going to be really confused.
Yeah, they know antimatter exists based on on their energy released when the particles actually touch. They know it exists, and obviously recently they've been able to actually physically prove it exists as well. Dark matter, as you said, can't be measured, can't be smelled, can't be seen.
Yeah.
But it's still being affected. It's not as clear.
It has an observable effect on the matter around it.
Right, but it's not as defined as antimatter. I think that's kind of what, as far as my very incredibly limited understanding is. That's kind of the difference.
Yeah, I just had one of those moments where I'm like, did I just catch the dumb? Yeah, I caught the dumb. Got it. Okay.
Nah,
No,
even
sure
scientists
either.
don't know shit about this stuff. Like this is groundbreaking, fringe and edge of pushing the boundaries of science. So even they have no real idea what's going on, but still exciting.
There was a stupid, joke thing that my friend and I used to say in high school. It's like, I think, therefore I am. Bullets think, therefore they are not. Therefore, you are always shooting antimatter bullets because they are not. It was really stupid. But
that's deep, bro.
It came crashing back to me.
I demand to have my 30 seconds back.
No, not after
No refunds
that-
given.
That is
singing
recorded for
CaddieWampus.
all
No.
of internet history.
The worst thing is I'm going to watch it again.
You
That's
have to.
the edge of
Someone-
your seat.
We are our own.
You
best
get to
fans.
reuse old jokes. I get to bring back stupid stuff from high school.
I hate you.
Charlie, how about you change things up a little bit and tell us why Denver is over almost 168 million miles away, or billion, as you said.
Billion.
Billion.
And, yeah, what's a couple decimals between friends, right? So, does anyone know what is on average 168.71 million miles away?
Mars.
A company that has a very interesting name. Does anyone remember the tagline from the character? Totally blanking. Sorry.
No.
Wow,
You
Yogi
could've
Bear.
fit him.
Yogi. I got
Hey,
CaddieWampus for a
boo-boo.
second. Hey, boo
It
boo.
looks like a tasty picnic basket.
This company's name is ABIBOO.
I love it.
Boo boo.
Boo boo.
Love it.
So, this company made a press release, and this press release came out March 23rd, which was a couple days before our discussion episode, which is why I was sitting on it for almost 2 weeks. Because I actually did my lightly research before I remembered we were doing the discussion topic. My bad. Scientists have unveiled breathtaking Martian city that can house 250,000 people, which is roughly approximately the size of the city of Denver, not to be confused with the city and county of Denver, which city and county you get over 325,000, but city through 250, you're in the right ballpark. So, what's probably the most interesting part of this concept is that most of the city is built into a cliffside. So the theory behind it is you have a westerly facing or easterly or westerly facing cliff face that you build your city into so you can get sunlight without the cosmic rays. So you're decreasing your silhouette to receive lethal radiation. The problem that they're still trying to work the process out on is creating a greenhouse style building. And this is the actual picture from the press release. So it's extreme south-facing awnings. So if you live in the United States in the West, most of your deciduous trees, the trees that lose their leaves, are going to be preferentially placed on the south face of your house to shade your house from the hot sun in the summertime. However, when the sun is low in latitude, you have direct sunlight coming in your windows and passively heating your house. That's one of the core concepts of an earthship or a passive heated house. So this is building that design in on that kind of function. But the city's plans would house over 250,000 people, and very importantly, would be built out of materials found on Mars. Does anyone know what material they were planning on building this place out of?
Sand.
Nope.
Damn it.
Well,
So
Carbon
what is
nanotubes.
what is the primary component in the dirt of Mars?
I'm going
Why
to
is
guess
Mars red?
because it's red. It's iron.
Iron oxide. So by harnessing the power of CO2, which there is a plenty, you can add carbon to iron and boom, steel. So they are planning on building most of the city out of steel and doing structural supports in the dirt. So most of your highly composited materials would still be able to be made out of sand effectively, and making glass and high strength polyglass would be completely doable with the materials on Mars. So the goal of this city would be to be completely self-sustaining and not Earth dependent. They expect, if everything goes perfectly onto plan, which we all know won't, they're expecting to build their first infrastructural pieces of this colony by 2058. 2 years before first contact.
That's a real specific year, actually.
Yep. And they're expecting that if everything goes to plan, that they will complete the city in its entirety by 2100.
It's pretty ambitious.
Very
I like
ambitious.
Hell yeah.
Now, if you take into account how long it takes to build a city from 0 to 250,000 people, you can do it in about 6 months on Earth with the entire infrastructure of a country behind it. We have done this before. It is doable. However, when spare parts and more manpower are 168 million miles away, it gets a little bit more complicated. So I will be very curious. Unfortunately, will not see this project to completion. I will probably not live to the age of Dr. McCoy or get accidentally trapped in a transporter buffer like Scotty. So hopefully they get it done, but we'll see.
Call back to our last episode.
You might.
Well, it's first contact day, so I'm trying to tie it in as best as I can.
Right.
So you missed a really good tagline for this. We didn't build this city on rock and roll.
But they are building the city on rock. Or in rock.
In rock and roll. Yeah, that's the key. I love it.
Yep.
The interesting...
So, yeah, the thing that I'm still most confused about is why the fuck is this company's name a Boo-Boo?
Yeah, Boo-Boo.
Somebody was a
Hey,
Yogi
Boo-Boo.
Bear fan, and,
This
they
is
were
an
like,
American
what should
company?
Does it stand for something? Is it an acronym?
It is not an acronym near as I can
Just
tell.
a boo-boo.
Is their logo
Boo-Boo.
Yogi Bear?
Just a fucking bear.
The article
Or a
is
picnic
not
basket.
listing their logo.
Huh. And,
Yep.
well, I mean, Yogi Bear is a famous cartoon engineer. I mean, so it makes sense. I don't know. There's no logic to that. I love it. Why the hell not? That's just like a engineer or a scientist to come up with a dumb name like that.
I'm still
Dumbly
not convinced that we will actually be able to build. I don't think we'll be able to grow plants on Mars. That's unfortunately my prediction.
You don't
Because
believe
of
in
the soil?
the Martian theory? from the
No.
movie and the book? You don't think that's
No, because direct sunlight without protection from cosmic rays equals irradiated and wilted vegetable
Yeah,
light.
but all we have to do is build a dome that blocks out the cosmic rays or the UV light, which we kind of already can do. Maybe not a dome, but we have glass that can do that.
I'm still a firm believer that we're going to the wrong planet. I do not think
Europa?
that the future lives here. I actually think that we're
Venus.
going too far away from Earth. Yeah, we need to be going towards the sun. So upper atmosphere of Venus, airships, build Bespin.
I feel like it would be easier to. What do you think it'd be easier to cool a colony like that, or would it be easier to heat a colony like that?
Well, so what's interesting
cold
is
lasers.
the theory of building a floating city is that you're going to live at an altitude. You can adjust your altitude, that your altitude does not require active cooling. And unlike Mars, Venus does have a molten core and does have a magnetic field, so you do not need to protect yourself from the same levels of cosmic radiation that you do on Mars.
So it's kind of interesting that the pressure and heat of Venus is considered a more difficult problem than the lack of atmosphere and protective magnetic sphere of Mars.
And that's another thing is you can, I mean, it's a gigantic carbon ball. It's absolutely chocked full of carbon molecules that you can use as fuel sources. So you don't even have to rely on nuclear or solar. You could go carbon and be fine.
Would you? I guess you could synthesize water, probably out of the atmosphere, and
Absolutely. I mean, it's a methane and carbon dioxide, and yeah, you could all of the molecules are there. You just need to scrub.
yeah, just got to figure out the pressure and heat problem. But with
You
that thick
burn
atmosphere-
methane, you get water as a byproduct.
Hell, maybe if they get those electric engines working the way they're supposed to, be easier to fly on Venus because of the thicker atmosphere.
Right. And like I said, airships. So
Airships,
like
yeah.
you don't even need to have powered flight to live on the clouds, as it were. But that's a topic for another episode.
I mean, that's
All
an
right.
interesting proposition, though.
Brandon, still no Among Us, so I'm not going to be sold. They better have some good other titles. By the way, anyone play the airship update on Among Us?
Yes.
No.
It's good.
Confused as hell on how to get around, but yeah.
Yeah. They're selling skin packs, so like many more levels out of the flavors that you already have.
Ooh.
I like it. It's a good game. It's a good game to play with my daughter.
Yep. I play it with my
And
son.
teach her that you're not trusted. That's a terrible family game. It's like, hey, you thought I was trustworthy.
I just murdered you.
It's-
Dad, you murdered me!
Daddy,
Sorry,
why'd
honey.
you kill me?
It's
Well,
like
she turns
Cheater's
8
Edition
tomorrow, so
Monopoly.
it's time to start learning the world's a cruel place.
Oh, hell.
Guys, I have a teenager.
Old man.
Yeah.
I have a teenager, and I'm going to have an 8-year-old tomorrow.
That's strange.
How? How?
Time is odd.
You see, when a man and a woman
No.
love each other.
No.
Test tubes. I don't know.
Okay.
Magic.
Brandon. If it doesn't play Skyrim, seriously, is it worth it?
Does it play
I
Doom?
would say so.
Does it play Doom?
Does it have an ARM processor?
More than likely.
Can
Yeah.
it play Doom?
No.
Probably. Oh.
I'm sure someone out there could figure a way out to make it work. But, yeah, Google announced 8 months back that Android Auto would get a wider variety of apps that will integrate directly into the platform. On the list are alternative navigation apps, parking assist, parking locators, and databases for electric vehicle charging stations. As of today, these kinds of apps can roll out to users without Android Auto beta. A few noteworthy applications that have pounced on the opportunity are ChargePoint, which is a database and map containing electric vehicle charging points with built-in payment processing. PlugShare, another database of EV charging points, although it is network agnostic, so it doesn't care. It's not a Tesla only or charge point only or whatever. And then 2GIS, an offline navigation app. Waze has been available on the platform intermittently with varied success for about the last year. Personally, I've been unable to get it working in my Volt, but I'm hoping that with the update to Android Auto and the development opening up, it will begin getting better and get available.
Wait, are you saying you have to update your car? Your car operating system? Is that what you're saying?
Oh.
How the hell do you implement that? Like,
So
I've never thought about that.
It's actually on the phone. It's actually on.
Okay.
It's the app on your phone.
Okay, I was like, wow, you have to get your car in Wi-Fi range, or
Can you brick
What's
your car?
What's interesting is that Tesla does that. It downloads over 5G or 4G LTE, and it auto updates while it's charging, either on your home network or on its own signal.
I guess I've never thought about that, but I guess that makes sense.
Holy cell phone.
Yeah, my car
bill.
has 4G, but it doesn't do any over-the-air updates. Chevy has not implemented that on their system yet. But yeah, I think it's a big deal. Getting an application onto Android Auto has always been notoriously hard. You wouldn't want, or rather shouldn't want, games or video streaming applications on there, as it's a distraction. And not all of us want to play a racing game using our car's actual control surfaces. Tesla.
Hey, that shit's fun.
Do some like AR augmented reality shit.
That would
I
would
think
scare
it'd be
the
cool.
shit out of me. Like in the parking structure,
Pansy.
being like, "Yeah, I've
Just-
got 15 minutes. I'm gonna try and set a new record."
Just imagine how if everyone else was like watching you, essentially making driving noises with your mouth in a parking lot.
Could you imagine the fidelity of the control surfaces? Because they feel right, they give the right resistances. You basically bought a $45,000, if you're getting the model that you're gonna
Yeah,
get,
but
controller.
I mean, that
But you don't have a racing steering wheel, Cody.
no, I
God, I
have
want
a
one.
replica A10 Warthog, one that the pilots can't tell the difference.
See, now imagine if you had an actual A10 Warthog that had a Android Auto in it.
Could you imagine sitting in the cockpit of an A10 with
Making
your
driving
with
noises?
a HUD display behind it? Would you not want to play that game?
That would be
I
pretty
would
cool.
Yeah,
rather
you
fly the
would.
real plane.
No, because
Can't-
you're not a pilot, Brandon, and you might die.
I would take
Titanium
that
bathtubs
risk.
be damned. The ground still hurts.
The one flaw in the plan, we're not pilots. But you can train to be a pilot in the actual... I think there's a market here.
Yeah, actually,
Facebook, get on it.
simulators are definitely a short commodity. So
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. On the short list of if I got rich, like just stupid wealthy rich, nice house, pay off all the bills, do all the responsible things,
Right.
but definitely take a couple
SR-71.
$1,000s and get a, like, a lot of the museums have like the square, like sim pits that
Yeah.
actually will roll
Yeah.
and will actually go up almost all the way and down almost all the way.
I would be there
would
just
buy
to
one of
see you
those.
blow chunks.
Nope. I've been
Yep.
in those before and fucking love them.
I think they have those like at movie theaters in Thailand. Actually, they call them
What?
4D.
Of course they
movies.
do. Of course they do.
Yeah, I've
I
seen.
don't know
them in
that
a
I would be
bunch-
okay with that.
Yeah, you're talking
like,
about
Too much an active experience at that point.
No,
Yeah.
that's not even my problem. Like, it's one thing if I've got the control in my hand
It's the
and
same
am
thing as the
banking,
bucket.
turning.
Oh, you just don't want to be
Whatever.
a passenger is the problem.
I see.
No, because
Control freak.
there was a 2-person one last time Lucas and I was in the California Science Center. They had a 2-person one, And that's actually the only way that he was allowed to go into it, was as a second player, basically. And so we paid for both of us to get it. So I did the first chunk, and then he did the second chunk, and it was like 5 minutes and 5 minutes. And that second 5 minutes, like, I could see him like moving the stick. I was anticipating what was going to happen, where we were going to go. So that
So it's more if you're in an active vehicle versus a roller coaster situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if you ever have to go to war, you want to with Lucas.
No.
Download the app,
Sure.
the Lucas app. Update your son. That's what I'm saying. Update your son.
No.
No.
The
He's pretty cool.
firmware is out of date.
Yeah,
All of
that-
our firmware is out of date, boys. We got to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool though that Android Auto is getting more things, just because you don't really ever hear about it. You only hear about CarPlay or. Yeah.
Well, and it's not a big enough platform that a lot of app development is happening there, because it's like, you look at other Android applications and it is either like laser beam focused at the casual market, the sodas.
I call it the
saga
mindless
stories.
gaming market.
Exactly.
clickers.
The like, I'm gonna push on my screen and, oh no, I ran out of lives. Yeah, I'll pay another $1 for more lives. Like that kind of experience. And then on the other side, you have the like hardcore nerd tool sets that some people are out there developing, like the subnetting calculators and like just the super nerdy technological stuff. And that, like, none of that really transfers well to this kind of platform. Like,
Going down the road
what
at 50 miles an
kind of
hour.
person-
God, what's the subnet of... I can't even... I need to know right fucking now.
I
What's
don't know.
the
You could
subnet
be on
of
the
this
way to
particular
your
IP address?
CCNA test.
But I don't know. It'll be interesting, since they've kind of opened it up a little bit more, to see what kind of innovation does eventually happen. Because, I mean, eventually we are all going to have cars. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
We are all eventually going to have cars that are either Android Auto or, what is it?
Something else.
Apple CarPlay or something?
Apple CarPlay, yeah.
There you go. Like, it is getting to the point, and this bugs me so much. You can plug this into your car and have all of the information that is in here on your car, right? All of your music, your podcasts, your audiobooks, your maps. Why have they not made where I can plug this in and this is my computer? This is already replacing your car operating system.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
This is the auto industry
I saw
saying no, you can't circumvent us. You can't. We will not enable
we're getting
that.
into some right to repair.
I thought you were
stuff,
doing
too.
like the small heart thing.
No, I'm not doing this.
No.
This is the world's smallest violin playing the
No,
world's saddest song.
not the
just for you.
violin. The heart symbol.
Oh no. And I wasn't doing the This is the I want my money.
No, and that has nothing to do with the car industry, because the car industry is predominantly going to, oh yeah, plug your phone in, like, use it to do your navigation and stuff.
Yes, but if they cut out their electronics, then they can't justify the price of their car.
That's
Well,
true.
true.
They're. I
There-
mean, you
there
heard
will
about
always
the
be-
you heard about the Tesla issue with the what was it, the heated seats, where like all Teslas, I think whatever certain model it was, it doesn't really matter, has the ability for heated seats, but you actually
Has
had
the
to
hardware.
pay had the hardware for it.
a software
But
update.
but to actually get it to work, you had to pay like as a service to get it. You had to pay a monthly service to actually have that feature.
No, it's not a monthly
Considered-
service, but it's a
or
flat
yearly
fee that
service.
you can pay anytime.
I thought it was a. I thought it was. I thought it
Uh-uh.
was a service, and that's why that was the
Nope.
big issue. I mean, all right.
No, but if you unlock it, it only stays unlocked for you. When you transfer ownership to
Okay.
the next person,
Yep.
then they have to pay to use the heated seats.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
same
Which
with
that
their
is
autopilot
total
feature.
bullshit. Yep.
Yeah, and that's
I could see.
That's
Yeah. Hopefully.
Now,
I
autopilot,
foresee them
they're
fixing
saying,
that.
is a service. Autopilot, you do pay. You pay like a certain amount, and then you pay annually.
like
For
as
that.
as for that service. I'm actually okay with that because I want as much money going into that program as possible with constant
updates. Yeah.
and for the best people on it at all times. That one doesn't bother me. And again, it's just another example of a company trying the gaming model of pay making it a service, the computer thing, making everything a service. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? It's relevant. So
Yeah.
it would be nice to be able to plug your phone directly into a car, like have its actual slot. It makes
no.
sense, honestly.
You guys are missing what I was saying. Like, this already replaces your phone, your car operating system for the most part. Why don't I have a dock to use
That's what I'm
this
saying.
on my TV? And this be
you
my
hadn't gotten there.
desktop. That is
Oh.
the step that I have been waiting for since my Palm Trio 680.
Okay, I was gonna say, Brandon, do you want me to take my 5700 XT out of my video card and let's compare
No,
the size
that's-
of this?
No.
the-
No.
Okay, you want to
That's-
turn it into like a small workstation, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
most-
agree with you.
Most people, if you were with the power these phones have, at least the newest generation, they can run their entire lives on it. They don't need I mean, we're going away from everything a little bit, but they don't need the power of the 5700 XT or whatever. They if you're using it for media consumption,
think so,
plug it
this
into plug it into a dock and a TV, and most people, which that's where the money is most people, at least from a consumer side, it'd be enough.
I really think with good software and good support behind it, the existing hardware we have in even last generation's flagship phones would be enough for like 90% of the population to be happy with.
I'm going to show you who would disapprovingly oppose this. No, it's not about software. It's about the hardware and the people.
It depends. Like I was thinking, I was wanting to argue against this, and then I remember like phone adoption rates in Asia, in Southeast Asia, and how many of those people do YouTube editing on their phone.
I've done YouTube editing on my phone.
It's
there's enough power to do it.
Yeah, that is. I'll admit I haven't tried it, so I shouldn't really knock it. But right now, that's kind of mind-boggling to me. So yeah, I get your point, and fair enough. I concede.
Well, I mean,
Excellent.
I guess if you're going back to the software issue of developing a platform that can kind of, well, I guess talk with each other in that sense, it's kind of the issue of, I mean, if you go back to gaming, it's the cross-play thing that it's starting to be pushed out. All these different platforms are essentially all the same now, so they can actually start integrating and talking with each other. At least there's no reason from a phone operating system or Android Auto system or any car system that it just seems to be it all needs to move to a singularity, to a more simplified ecosystem, if you will.
Well, it all
you
kind of
can
goes
have-
back to like back in the day. You had a mainframe computer and terminals.
Are we
And
going
you
back to
basically-
thin clients?
Yep, pushed your commands to the mainframe, got the results back on this little terminal. Our company has some of these little Wise clients, and I absolutely hate him because when they
God.
break, there's nothing I can do. Nothing. It has to go like 3 levels up to some back-end administrator to be like, oh, let me just reset that session. Actually finally got approval this week to get that in-house. I'll be like one of 5 people in the company with that. But either way, like, it's yeah. So we're eventually going to go back to this. Like, I'm already seeing it with cloud gaming. You know, look at...
But cloud gaming is kind of like, that's a weird example because for the most part, it's kind of been a failure.
Not all of it has been, though.
No, it's
Shadow
not.
is still doing
No, it hasn't.
really good.
Okay,
And I can play every
Xbox.
game on my custom built gaming machine at home on a $200 crap throwaway laptop.
Yep.
That's not unsuccessful. That's
Stadia,
Surface Go.
inconvenient
if you're
when you're
looking at
stuck
Google
living in the
Stadia,
front of an ambulance.
Stadia worked just fine. It just, they didn't
Sucked.
trust it. They didn't it's Google. They like to destroy shit. Not give
Failure
it a
to
chance.
launch.
Like
Yeah.
the
And
technology
it's-
works.
Yeah, but it's fine. You start to look at this, but you need to have the cloud on the same network where you are, unless we get rid of data caps across the world, and
Yeah.
that's
won't have
not
a data
happening
cap.
for 15 more years at least.
I will have symmetrical gigabit with no data cap for cheaper than everyone else's internet.
Yes, you in a major city will.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And
Is there a data cap on that Starlink?
I
Is
don't
that-
know.
No,
If there
I
isn't,
don't
then
think
that
so.
argument goes away also. I mean,
Well,
we
again,
all
we'll
know
see.
data caps are bullshit.
But I don't think is Starlink's goal gigabit or better.
well, yeah, but
I mean,
if the
their
data
eventual
cap-
goal, yeah.
Okay.
But
I mean,
I think their short term is 500 symmetrical?
which
Something
is
like that. I don't know.
more than enough.
Still really good.
By the way, guess what?
I mean-
Guess what got installed today?
Your fiber.
I have my
Oh.
fiber modem in the wall in the box outside of the house. They just have to dig the trench between the box in my front yard to the box and then
You
below
should-
the fiber, which will unfortunately take probably 2 or 3 more weeks.
you
but
should do a quick video
I have
and
my
upload it
modem.
to the Tech Pirate.
I will show a picture of it right now. You can awe in the power light that is currently lit. And then I will show another picture later of more lights as they light up.
Light. Yeah, it's
Hate me.
Definitely jelly.
Hmm.
Although I haven't
Yeah,
seen what options I have at the new apartment.
Fair enough.
ooh.
I know.
Does
you can get
anyone
icy
in the
fits.
Gunnison community have gig?
Yes.
Do they have fiber in the valley?
Yes.
It's
We used to work for a
but
company.
yes.
That
Yeah.
had fiber.
We used to run
We
fiber
used to work
at
for-
negative 20 degrees.
We were the first ones to do it, like a bunch of idiots. But
Yep.
way more money than what you're paying. But who knows?
Yeah.
Especially
yeah,
for gig.
But again, I got it. As much as like sometimes I criticize that, like honestly, fiber back in 2015 when we were doing that in a small town in Colorado, that was
Right.
actually
Yeah, and
pretty
that's-
bleeding edge.
That's
Yeah, I
if it
can't
could be done in
criticize that.
Gunnison, Colorado, which isn't a true backwater town, but it's in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's not
It
a
costs
big major
$400
city.
to get a round trip ticket to the nearest international airport to get there.
But I'm
that
saying,
should say something.
but that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
not like a tiny little 5-person town, but it's not Denver, Colorado either. So all the technology is there. We just have to have the will to do it. Just like we've said on every other technology we've ever talked about.
Yeah.
The backwards thinking of saying that this is how it used to be. It at some point gotta jump in the deep end, If it works, if we have the technology to do it, fucking do it. Fuck it.
Yep.
That's my optimistic view of everything.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Like again, the integration with Android Auto, the things that I worry about. I kind of joked about it earlier. Would be bricking your car, like that.
I mean, it doesn't interact on that level.
Okay,
With them kernel access.
So we're not making something that should work dumbly and work fine dumbly, and we're not at like thermometers or the heating system where like if you broke the smart element of the heating system, it broke the entire heating system, like what level 1 techs talked about several years ago.
If you were to break the OS of the car, yeah, you'd be having a bad time. But the way that
going off,
yeah, well, especially on like my car, a electric range extended vehicle, like the amount of computer that thing has to have in order to do all of the battery management and things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Whenever you have charging batteries and the amount of, of those lithium batteries in your car, you do have to absolutely manage how those things are charged. Otherwise, they become a large explosive device.
Yep. So yeah, if you were to brick like the base level car OS, that would be a bad time.
Ooh.
But the way that it all interacts, there's no
overlap.
There's no actual tie-in to it.
Yeah. Man, that you could turn every electric vehicle into a rolling bomb if you could do that. Actually,
Hi, FBI agents.
I'm just
NSA watch.
Yeah.
We are not a financial podcast. We are not a bomb-making podcast. We just want to make that super clear right now.
God damn it, Cody.
We just got the feds off our ass. Son of a bitch.
No, so yeah, that's freaky. Just to
I mean,
I'm sure there
you
might
could
be
do
some
that. You could do that in the same way that you could make a laser printer into a fire starter.
To be fair, we already drive vehicles that explode liquid.
Right?
They're already bombs, technically. I'm just saying, like, they're already bombs.
True.
Things I can't talk about on the internet, but
yeah. But
yep.
overcharging. Yeah.
Molotov cocktail. A towel in the gas cap.
Yeah. I guess we've all anybody who's watched an action movie in the 80s have seen this stuff.
Don't do that.
Right?
So
yep.
True, but that it requires
it's all about they just have to make the safeguards.
Outside influence directly on site. So as long as there's something physical, like what is it? The physical fuses, basically. To
mercury switches,
to keep that from happening, which there probably is already. But
I'm
sure they've thought about this.
It's
I hope so. I hope they thought of it.
Sitting in a small
if
town
not,
in Alaska that's like,
we want to patent that, and
this is April 5th, 2021, and we are patenting this as intellectual property.
Gotcha, feds. I mean, anyways, Brennan, end this shit before they're onto us.
Yeah, no kidding. Cody, where can we find you when you're not getting this on
in a black
list?
site? Well, in case you didn't know, I am Zito Valder on Instagram, striving to fail on YouTube, which I'm still failing at creating videos. Well, I'm failing at uploading videos. I'm actually doing a pretty good job at filming, just bad at editing and uploading. And Zito Valder on Overwatch. Yeah, I guess that's all for today. Colton, where can we find your explosive brain person thing? Because it looks like you're having a really good idea behind you. Wow.
Integration,
or
baby.
you're getting ready to throw down some EDM trance.
Anyways, My name is Colton Roper. You can find me on the internet in most places as Seeker4761.
That's the amount of watch lists we're on today.
There it is.
Yeah,
there it is. Shit. I try to upload a video every week reviewing a game for Game Review Thursday on my YouTube channel, Seeker4761. I also stream every Tuesday at twitch.tv/Seeker4761. And I am also a contributor to the techpirate.net. And I'm sure I'm in many other places, but no one cares. Charlie, what about you?
I am Charlie Stifler, also known as Milnor, spelled wrong, so I always get it right. You can find me on Steam, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, but not Twitter and not TikTok.
What about OnlyFans?
I am not on OnlyFans.
Linus got
you cannot buy this.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
I have to say,
so
I love that, spelled wrong, so I always get it right. Love that line.
Yeah. It took me only 40 episodes to get it. Brandon, take us home.
I am Brandon Vader, also known as Dracanus. You can find me on thetechpirate.net. You can find me on YouTube at Brandon Vader or techpirate.net. I will actually I took some GoPro footage today, had a little motorcycle ride to work, took a 2-hour-long ski break, and then motorcycled home after work. The first and only time I've ever been able to do that. So
Nice.
It's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ski
Let's see, you can also find me on...
Ski and cycle. Enjoy all the seasons at the same time.
The paradox.
Ski cycle sandwich.
That is what is colloquially, God, to throw out the word, that is known as a skycle. The more you know.
Skycle?
A skycle.
This is back to
Is that
Cody's
an actual
candy.
term, or are you just...
This is back to Cody's candy, and you need to finish this now.
Shit.
Okay.
God, get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. You can also find me on Instagram at bvader86. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us on this episode of This Week I'm Learning. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as on YouTube at This Week I'm Learning. For you social media peeps out there, you can find us on Twitter at ThisTwil. If you'd like to contact us, you can, of course, send an email to twil@thetechpirate.net. See you all next week, and have a nice day.
Bye.
Let's have the clap. Excellent.
Ooh,
Most
excellent clap.
I've got the clap, and I'm giving it to you. Who's got the clap? You do, you do.
I still say Forgetting Sarah Marshall was a better movie.
That's fine. You can think that. You can be wrong, too.
Then Get Him to the Greek? It's
Which you are.
absolutely a better movie.
I have never watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh my god. Oh god, watch it.
You gotta tell us what
90s
that
coming
fucking
of age.
candy is. Is it a candy?
It's from
Is it a gum?
Sweden.
Okay.
It's from
Just
Is
Sweden.
so
it
we're
like a
recording.
gummy?
That's all you need to know.
Alright, so it's Scum. Actually, it's Scully. Cool.
Cool Hallion Scully Bubs.
You just pronounced it skull,
Scum.
by the way.
Okay. Well, it's like it's really sweet, a little bit sour. Really good. I'd say it's
Doesn't
like kind
answer
of
the
like
question
Sour
still.
Patch Kids, It's not gum. It's not gum.
It's gummy.
It is gummy.
Okay.
So I mean, like, you know.
So it's like Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
Except for not
as
polished
annoying.
on the surface.
Yeah, not as annoying as Laffy. I actually am not a fan of Laffy
Fuck
Taffy.
you.
So
I
is it
love Laffy Taffy.
is it somewhere
You can
between
have all of
Laffy
it.
Taffy? Is it somewhere between Laffy Taffy and then like a
Sour Patch
gummy
Kid.
bear, gummy worm?
No, it's more
Somewhere
like
in between
between Laffy Taffy and Sour Patch Kid.
Okay.
So like saltwater taffy, but sour.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I've had that in a better version of like 7-Up, but it's like it's yellow, not like Mountain Dew nuclear green yellow, but like a yellow yellow. And that's pretty good.
But nuclear green is the best green.
I do agree. You know.
All right. Let's get on with this, shall we?
Oh God, I just read your intro.
Yeah.